10 years ago, the Los Angeles Lakers took on the Chicago Bulls on Christmas Day, and the mighty Wesley Johnson, he led the Lakers with 19 big points, and he led the team to a 20-point loss against the Chicago Bulls. Kobe Bryant was not playing, he was injured, he had to rest, but he was probably fuming inside. The team had like Jordan Hill, I think Jeremy Lin was coming off the bench, Wesley Johnson, Nick Young, what did he expect? Just an atrocious team. But the story on that day for sneaker lovers was the debut of the Christmas colorway of the Kobe 9s by some Lakers players. Even though Kobe wasn't playing, he didn't wear this shoe first on court, we still saw it, and the following day it released to the public, and 10 years after that shoe officially released, it is coming back as a performance retro. Nike Kobe 9 Elite High Protro Christmas Day. Now the shoe is dropping on December 12th for $240. I am glad they are dropping it a few weeks before Christmas, so if someone gets this shoe, they're actually able to wear it, maybe if shipping is quick, before Christmas Day. So I like that. Oftentimes they'll miss like the occasion that they're celebrating. Very, very annoying, but they got it right this time. Now Protro, if you didn't know, it means performance retro. Kobe Bryant actually coined the term because they were discussing like retroing some of his sneakers, and he was like, I don't want to retro it, I want to performance retro it. This Kobe is just so Kobe. First impressions of the Kobe 9 Elite High Christmas Day. I love it. I really do. I already do like high cut basketball sneakers. It's what I grew up with. It is what I'm used to. Just in my mind, the nostalgia. I associate this to a very happy time when ball was life, and I had no bills, just growing up as a stupid kid. So I feel like I probably like high cut sneakers more than the average person, and in terms of just the colorway of this shoe, I really like it as well. It is obviously on theme, but this red, I feel like it's not super unwearable, even though it's very bold and bright. I like the hints of the white that come through as part of this material, and the hints of black, really well done, perfect color choice, perfect color combination, and I'm glad they didn't put too much green on this shoe, mainly going with red. I feel like Christmas green is a bit harder to wear than Christmas red. So yeah, really, really like the colors of the shoe. I think the other only Kobe 9s that I've reviewed on my channel were the Halos. Between the two, Halos are clean and sleek, but I think I have to go with this colorway. I think it's just a bit more special and unique. In the upper of the shoe, it is a fly knit upper, and it is very festive and all red with some hints of white and black. Just a very on-theme shoe, and what I love is on the eyelets, you can see how the eyelets are held together with these like black loops. Just a really cool design, and you see this black swoosh that is actually printed onto the shoe. So on the recent Halo colorway, they like elevated that swoosh and made it like another piece. This one just reverts back to the printed version that you saw on the original Kobe 9s. Now, of course, a very distinct thing about the Kobe 9, it is the very, very high ankle cut. And that design is inspired by when Kobe Bryant went and saw Manny Pacquiao training for a boxing fight. So if you didn't know, boxing shoes often have very high ankle support. So he was like, why not take that and implement it into basketball? Now, if you remember, Kobe Bryant was actually the player that was really responsible for popularizing low-cut shoes in the NBA, and he really started a trend that's still going today. He wasn't the first one to do it, but he was a huge, gigantic superstar, first one to really want to try it out. But then when it came to the Kobe 9, he was like, let's go the other way again. Of course, we have the Kobe 9 lows, but this is a high, and that is a very distinct part about the shoe. And on the tongue, you get the synthetic leather with the Mamba logo with Kobe Bryant's signature on top. And that logo, again, if you didn't know, that was inspired by Kill Bill, and it's meant to represent like a sword in its sheath. Speaking of the tongue, inside the tongue, it actually is branded for Christmas. It says Mamba's greetings. And then on the lateral side of the shoe, you'll see these braille-like dots. That is actually the Mamba code. So on the lateral side, it is meant to say masterpiece. And then on the medial side, there's three words, Veni, Vidi, Vici. That is the famous phrase, I came, I saw, I conquered, in Latin. Now moving on to the booty, it is very unique. You'll see 9 lines. That, number one, it is a reference to the Kobe 9, but also a reference to the stitches that he had to get after he tore his Achilles. And the lines here comes in a very festive Christmas green, again, very on theme. And then at the very top, quite subtly in a darker shade of red, you'll see KB 9th. And at the very bottom, another Mamba logo. Now the shoe just comes with one set of laces, these red laces out of the box. I really wish they gave us an extra set of green laces just to really complete the theme of Christmas. Not sure why they didn't do that. $240. I think we deserve some extra laces, but yeah. Now the Kobe 9 Elite does come with a React foam drop-in midsole that replaces the Lunarlon foam that came in the original Kobe 9s. Now while that is an upgrade, I don't really love drop-ins. I still prefer if the midsole was like built into the shoe. It can feel slightly muted at times, but overall pretty well balanced cushioning. I think compared to like some more modern day technology, like especially for my feet, I feel like Cushlon 3.0 I just really like on the Sabrina 2s. I even like the Zoom X setup that we saw on the Jordan 39s. I think that is a better cushioning setup than this. This is still very good. It is still a Kobe shoe. Most Kobe shoes are decent at worst, I think, at least for my playing style and my weight. Now, one thing I will say, there is no Zoom Air. There's no shank plate on the shoe. So in terms of like the kinetic energy return, might be slightly lacking compared to some other sneakers with a more loaded type of tech specs. So yeah, overall, depending on your play style, cushioning setup you might find is a little too muted, a lack of responsiveness and like bounciness for your liking. For me, I think it's good, but yeah, I think there are definitely better options. Now in terms of the traction of the Kobe 9, it is very good. That's probably my favorite thing, but the Kobe 9s, it is outstanding. You'll see this footprint type of traction that just works really well indoors. I will say outdoors, it is kind of a thin type of rubber. It is not like the densest and strongest, but I don't recommend taking this shoe outdoors. If you do, taking a $240 shoe outdoors, you're on something. But overall, traction is great. I'm a player who really prioritizes traction. If a shoe doesn't have like great traction, I definitely won't even consider it to play ball in. But yeah, the Kobe 9 traction wise, I really love it. Now I do have to point out, you probably can't notice it even though you really try. Nike did actually Protro or enhance the traction of this already great traction shoe, and that is on the medial side of the shoe in the toe area. You see like an extra line. Now one thing I really like about this shoe is like where you sit. So it is still close enough to the ground where you get that kind of court feel, but it's not so close where you feel like you're just walking on the court. So I really like essentially the distance between where my feet sits and the court. Really good balance. Now I will say, even though there's a lack of a shank on this shoe, there is carbon fiber pieces that you see around the shoe, and that just adds to the rigidity of the shoe. So you don't want basketball sneakers to like twist and bend easily. And I feel like the carbon fiber in those areas of the shoe does a really good job. It does a great job as well in terms of lateral support, lateral containment, so you don't feel like when you're stopping or doing hard cuts that you're rolling your ankles and really at risk of injury. I think in terms of like the support and rigidity of the shoe, it is great as well. And I will have to preface this again by saying that I am a very light player. If you're like 6'8", 300, try this on yourself if you can, or like definitely get another opinion. I can't speak for how your like playing style and your weight will affect the support and containment of the shoe, but for me, and I think for most people, this will do the job. The fly knit is strong enough as well where you don't feel like you're gonna bust through the upper of the shoe. The overall lateral containment, there's no issues here. So I like the high cut of these, but I will say because of the materials and the lack of ventilation around this area, can get pretty hot and pretty gross around the ankles, especially in this tongue area. So that might not feel that good, but performance wise, the high cut nature of the shoe definitely like doesn't take away from performance. And the box of the shoe, a black Kobe Bryant box. You can see the Mamba scales. Yeah, love this all black box. Now in terms of sizing, fit, and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer for Kobe 9s. I stick true to size. I will say width wise, it fits me pretty well. There is no issue with the arch area, even though it does look to be extended pretty high up. And Kobe shoes do usually have a pretty thin and narrow fit, I would say. But width-wise for this shoe, no real problems, especially after breaking it in. But I will say, in terms of the toe box area, I do feel like there's a bit of a dead space, even as a wide footer in the toe area. It's nothing where I would like change how I size this shoe, but it's something to call out. I do have to like get used to a bit when I don't play in Kobe 9s for a while and then switch to a Kobe 9. Yeah, I definitely do notice it. And in terms of just overall comfort, I think playing in these, I don't have any issues comfort-wise. I feel like it's a pretty light shoe. Might not be like the lightest compared to some like modern day shoes where they really try and prioritize a very lightweight basketball shoe. But for me, I've never really cared too much about the weight of my basketball sneakers. So that's no issue for me. And yeah, like I said before, just this ankle area, if you don't mind this being like really sweaty around your feet, it does feel kind of comfortable where it's like snugly around your ankles. Kind of wearing like very warm socks or something. So if you're actually wearing this just casually, not playing ball in them, they actually can feel pretty nice. Now, one big complaint about the fit of the shoe, it's more around when I try to put my feet into the shoe. It's like a chore. First, you have this long ankle or high ankle area. So already you're kind of pulling this apart and trying to stuff my big fat feet in there. And then because of the pattern on the foam midsole, when you're sliding your feet in, when you're putting the shoe on, your socks kind of like get caught, and then you're still sliding your feet in, but your socks are like staying in place, and it just messes up your socks. And then you have to pull your socks while your feet's in the shoe. It just is annoying. It's annoying to put this shoe on. It's a chore. I shouldn't have to feel like it's a chore to put my fat feet in $240 shoes. Not sure if it's just like a me problem, but yeah, that's just one experience that I had. Now, usually for casual and more retro sneakers, I give it a sole score, but for basketball performance sneakers, don't give it a sole score. The metrics don't really make sense, but I do have a final verdict of this shoe, and I really like it. I think performance-wise, I would probably go with something else, maybe a bit more modern, like the Sabrina 2s or the EQLZ 24/7. I really like that shoe, but I still think this is a good performing shoe. The traction especially is my favorite. The support and containment for a light guard like me, it does the job very well. The cushioning and responsiveness, I think, could be slightly better. Maybe switch it up to like Sabrina 2 type of specs. I would really like that. And the lack of zoom air or any like shank plate might not sit well with a lot of people. But for me, I didn't really get this shoe to really like have the best performing basketball sneaker. I usually just go with the Sabrina 2s if I play ball, if I'm playing in a game. But I got the shoe for two reasons and two reasons only: the nostalgia factor and because of my fandom and love for Kobe Bryant. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Soul Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Kobe 9 Elite High Protro Christmas Day. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.